That rewires your brain so that the same reaction doesn't hold you back anymore, and that you are now able to use fear as your fuel for success.
The question isn't, can you handle the situation? The question is, can you handle your mind? Can you manage the thoughts and the emotions that are trying to poison your progress?
I'm David. Welcome to Wise Vibes. Your reality is a reflection of your strongest belief. Our entire life consists of what we believe in, and we act on those beliefs. So if you could change your beliefs, you could change your life. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 ways to alter your belief system so that you could change your life for the better. Starting off with number 1, Demonstrate Greatness by Joe Dispenza.
You don't know why you were doing that, but you were unconsciously or subconsciously asking them to mimic your behavior. And they look at you and they follow your actions. And so when you all of a sudden demonstrate greatness in your life, and I don't care if it's just letting somebody ahead of you in traffic or helping someone up or picking up a piece of litter or garbage, and people witness that, they're more prone to do the same. And so we begin to change the world, I believe, by changing ourselves.
I gotta thank my dos amigos, because their answers are quite wonderful. If I just add something small to it, I'd just like to add this fact that time is perhaps one of the most important commodities in our life. And when you start losing time doing things that you don't want to do, you start cutting your life short. So there's times that we do things because it's habit, because it's protocol, that's the way it's always done. And there are times where you can say, no, thank you. I really have, I have something going, I have something doing, whatever it is, to extract yourself from a commitment, to free up your life, to give you that extra time for your personal life. Because this is our personal opportunity to experience heaven on earth. And if you're going to give away all your time, you have nothing left. So I just went back when we were talking about it. The first time I did that, because I was thinking about the whole concept of energy and life and all that kind of stuff, and I realized, God, I just want some more time. And one of my fellow faculty members came into my office and said, Bruce, don't forget there's a faculty party on Friday night. And I thought about it, I said, oh crap. They're the most boring, waste of time things I've ever done in my life. And I just sat there in that one moment, just having thought about that, I said, oh geez, I'm so sorry. I have some important work I have to do and I won't be able to attend. And he said, oh, okay, and walked out. And all of a sudden I said, oh my God, I got Friday night. It's all for me. So I really want you to understand, we do things by habit and just programming, and yet you are a free agent. And when you really feel that it's not in your interest to do something, you have the right and the opportunity to disconnect, recover your life, and use it the way you want to use it. Friday night is not for faculty meetings.
Number 2, Overcome Fear by John Assaraf.
Let's say you have a fear of public speaking. Is it really a fear of public speaking that you have? Or is it a fear of getting up on stage and being embarrassed, ashamed, ridiculed, or judged? Let me take you to another type of fear. Being buried alive. Can you imagine for just a moment if there was an earthquake or there was a natural disaster and somehow you were buried alive? Wouldn't that trigger this crazy amount of fear of dying while you were buried alive? Now, why am I taking you there? I'm taking you there because fear is a subconscious trigger whenever we feel threatened. And the threat could be a threat for our very lives. And when that happens, we move into one of 4 modalities. And modality number 1 is we try to fight this feeling. Number 2 is we freeze because we're in such shock. Number 3, we may faint because of the neurochemistry that the fear causes, or we might run away if we can run away. Now, these neurological reactions are our brain's way of keeping us safe, which is the highest need and desire of the brain, safety above all else. So when we are looking to achieve a goal that we want to achieve, and it doesn't matter if it's, to start a business or grow your business or leave a relationship that you're not happy in or a job that you're miserable in, whenever we think about the actual behavior that is required to achieve that goal, once we get motivated in doing that, that's part one of how our brain works. But right after that, our brain has to analyze if there's any real or imagined danger associated with taking that action step. So if you are going to leave a relationship that you're not happy in, your brain is going to activate the memory circuits and discover what's in there that may have caused you pain and suffering in the past. And when that happens, whether it's a relationship you want to leave, a job that you want to leave, a goal you want to achieve, your brain is always analyzing, is there any danger here? And when there is real or imagined danger, the amygdala part of the brain, the emotional response center in the brain, is going to fire off an amazing amount of neurochemicals like cortisol, epinephrine, or norepinephrine. And it's that rush of those neurochemicals that causes this emotion, energy in motion, we label as fear. Now, once you have that rush of neurochemicals in your bloodstream, that actually gives you an enormous amount of energy. But what most people never have learned how to do is how to take that energy and channel it to action versus to fighting it, freezing, or running away. And so here is two little techniques. I call them inner sizes, and they're based on my new book called Inner Size, The New Science to Unlock Your Brain's Hidden Power. And it goes like this. When you write down a goal you want to achieve, and you write down a fear that you might have in achieving that goal. So it could be a fear of failure, a fear of succeeding and then failing, a fear of trying your best and it not being good enough, and that's going to cause you to be embarrassed, ashamed, ridiculed, judged, etc. When you recognize a fear, I want you to do this. It's called inner size number one. It's called Take 6, Calm the Circuits. When fear neurochemicals are released in your brain, you've activated the fear or stress response center in the brain. When you just observe the emotion called fear through being quiet and breathing 6 times in through your nose and out through your mouth like this. You take a deep breath in for 5 seconds. You blow out like you're blowing out through a straw. And if you do this 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out, 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out, with 6 to 10 breaths, you're gonna deactivate the fear response center, and that actually is gonna reactivate your thinking center in your brain so that you can move on to inner size number 2. Inner size number 1 is Take 6, Calm the Circuits. Inner size number 2 is called AYA, A-I-A, and that stands for awareness, intention, action. So here's how you do this. After you do the first inner size, then you move to inner size number 2, and then you ask yourself in a calm, relaxed state, what am I thinking right now? What am I feeling right now? Am I calm or am I tense? Am I breathing deeply or shallow? Is my heartbeat fast or slow? And in this state of calm awareness, as you deactivate the brain's fear or stress response, you can observe what you are feeling and what you are thinking and what you were doing, and then you can ask yourself the next question, that is the I. What is my intention right now? Is my intention to move forward, or is my intention to stay in this fearful state? And chances are you're gonna say, well, I really wanna move forward. And then you ask yourself, what is one action step that I can take to move forward towards my goal and dream? So this is how it works. After you do the exercise number 1, to calm the circuits and to deactivate the reactive state that fear causes, and then you move into the second exercise called Aya to move into the responsive state. Awareness, intention, action now puts you in control of being aware of the fear, being aware, of what you've been thinking, and then being at choice of what you want to do. So when you combine these two exercises, you are now reconfiguring the neural network in your brain around the goal that you want to achieve. And instead of allowing the real or imagined danger to control you and to stop you dead on your tracks, you take one action step in a calm state, and that rewires your brain so that the same reaction doesn't hold you back anymore, and that you are now able to use fear as your fuel for success.
And if you're liking the video so far, hit that like button down below and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Number 3 is Be Different by Seth Godin.
I don't think I'm that different than most people. I just had a few really lucky moments that I took advantage of. And when I was in college, one of those moments hit, and I got to co-found a little business that ended up becoming a snack bar and a ticket bureau and a bagel delivery service and a birthday cake service and a laundry service and a travel agency. And every week we started something new. It was semi-related to the college, so we got to use their payroll system, and in exchange we didn't get to keep any of the money. Right? So it was great because I get to explore all this stuff without the stress of saying, well, what if it doesn't work? Because I already didn't have anything, right? And a couple weeks into it, I started to look at things and say, you mean I could just go and start a new thing and no one could tell me not to?
Yeah.
And my roommates didn't understand that, and the people in my hall didn't understand that, and my teacher. And as soon as that happened, I stopped trying to get good grades in school because no one was ever going to look at my grades anyway. I started taking as many courses as I could because it's the same price to take 6 instead of 4. So go ahead. And it just adopted this new posture, which is how do I do things for the people I'm trying to serve? How do I make interesting things happen? Because it's not a race or a contest, it's a journey.
Yeah.
You know, and I live in New York now, and one of the saddest things was to watch the tourists go to Olive Garden. Why would you go to New York City and then eat at the Olive Garden? What is that about?
Right.
And what it's about is because you like the regular kind, because you don't want to be surprised, because you want to do the safe thing. Well, if that's what you want, then don't be a tourist, stay home. And I think the same thing's true about work. Like if you want a job where someone's going to tell you what to do, then go work for a different fast food place. Go work for a place, you know, where they're just going to give you a manual.
Yeah.
But if you want a gig where you can put on a show and be a different kind of human being because you can, there aren't many companies like Dutch Bros that have figured out how to let someone do that.
How do you get this creativity that's inside you, or these ideas and these thoughts of like how to change it? My dad used to say something to me all the time when I was younger. He'd be like, Bryant, I don't care what you do, just do it. You know, and he's like, just go. You know, it doesn't matter to me what you're doing as long as you're actually doing something. It's an easy thing to say, you know, it's like, hey, just go for it.
And let me say it in a way that's not easy.
Yes.
That's honest, all right?
Yeah.
You're probably gonna fail.
Yeah.
The stuff you do is probably gonna suck. You're probably gonna get in trouble.
Yeah.
It's probably not gonna work. Are you okay with that? Because if you're not okay with that, well then that's why you're having trouble getting your ideas out there. That's why you're having trouble integrating other people into the team. That's why you're having trouble doing X, Y, and Z, because you aren't okay with it not working. So you're waiting for the thing that's sure to work. But the thing that's sure to work isn't gonna happen.
Yeah.
And if it is, someone's gonna do it instead of you. So all that's left are the things that are probably not gonna work.
Yeah.
The thing is, when you were 4, you told a joke that was funny. And when you were 8, you did a drawing that was interesting.
Yeah.
And when you were 14, you had a conversation with someone that was truly human. You're capable of it. That's not the question. Everyone who's watching this has written one intelligent sentence.
Yeah.
I've just written more than one. But it's a matter of quantity, not ability.
Yeah.
So where does the quantity come from? The quantity comes from being willing to be wrong, being willing to be made fun of, being willing to be embarrassed, being willing to fail. It never gets easier. It never gets fun, ever. Okay, fine. And gravity also sucks. If we didn't have gravity, we could fly.
Yeah.
So there's gravity. We don't whine about gravity. We just acknowledge that there's gravity and we walk anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I think the same thing is true about the art that we make, the difference that we make. A customer comes in every day, and the 5th day they come in, and it looks like they've been crying. It is not your job to say to them, is everything okay, and give them a hug. But if you did that, what would happen? Right? It might not work. They might get really angry with you. It's none of your business. But it also might change their life. You could sign up for that or not. And that's what freedom looks like. And that's why freedom is so scary. Because freedom doesn't come with a dummy's book, and freedom doesn't come with a permit, and freedom doesn't come with an excuse. You have to own it, and it probably isn't going to work. You know, I've written 7,000 blog posts, and half of them were below average. I just didn't know which ones were below average until after I wrote them.
You talked about breaking habits, or not necessarily breaking habits, but, you know, just the things we've been conditioned to kind of. So now, you know, as time's gone on, how do you identify in your own self creating the new condition?
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Well, you know, so I have a giant problem, which is I have this thing in my pocket. It's constantly bothering me. And at the end of the day, if I touch it enough times, I feel like I've been productive.
Right.
Right? Like, I can clear 150, 300 emails in a day.
Yeah.
What'd you do today? Well, it's not angry at me anymore. That's what I did today. So if I do a day like that, I have failed because I didn't do anything risky.
Yeah.
Right? All I did was make sure the boat kept moving.
Yeah.
Number 4, Face Your Fears by Will Smith.
Something that probably a lot of people don't know about me, I don't f with the ocean. The ocean is like the ultimate woman. She is beautiful and she will nourish you, but she will tear you to shreds also. I tried snorkeling before and I was hyperventilating. My 50th birthday is this year. I just wasn't gonna go into the back 9 of my life without having attacked my fear of the ocean. I flew halfway around the world to an island off the coast of Australia to face my biggest fear head on. We're on Lizard Island, and I'm about to scuba dive the Great Barrier Reef.
All right, see all that? Bam, 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 bam. Oh, and I got a mitten. Am I not supposed to have a mitten? Y'all don't have mittens? Why you don't have mittens on, man? Ooh-dook, 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 ah! That scared me. He actually got the tip of my finger. This is one of my bucket list joints, right? So we're about to scuba dive. So this is my first time, and I'm excited. We got dive instructors, Jimmy and Davey. They said that it's safe.
So we're taking a boat ride out, and we go through a storm.
Reporting to you live from a storm on a boat. We're headed out to a dive site. Oh my goodness! Oh, did you feel that? Did you feel that? Back to you in the studio, Sandy. That's what you call Australian bull. How you feeling? Awesome. You ready to go get it? I'm ready. I'm about to go take my spot. Look at this. This is stupid. All right, I'm not going.
Come on, this will be the hardest part of your day.
I know, right?
Come on, mate.
Hey, am I cold or is that my nerves? It's not cold, right? It's like I feel like I'm cold. The first fish we see is a shark. Come on. I'm not doing another dive today.
The question isn't, can you handle the situation? The question is, can you handle your mind? Can you manage the thoughts and the emotions that are trying to poison your progress? Forget managing the situation. Manage your mind.
Let me know down in the comments below which has been your favorite speaker or lesson so far. Number 5 is Work on Your Weaknesses by Kobe Bryant.
So at 13 years old, I had a I had a kill list. I gotta hunt them down. Now you got a problem.
That's right.
I don't think I've ever said this before.
Seriously.
Seriously, this is gonna be fun. Michael in particular, he become my big brother.
The greatest of all time.
Oh, we call him Black Jesus. You're not intimidating me. We're gonna go at it.
It's crazy.
Yeah, man.
You're about to take your shot and then all of a sudden, boom.
The kiss of death. Man, my back was really spasming.
How the hell do you tolerate that kind of pain?
I played games with the flu. I played games with 102-degree fever, man.
Powerful.
Right. They all thought I was absolutely crazy the day me and Shaq got in a fist fight.
Fist fight.
Oh, yeah.
Fist fight.
Oh, I'm not backing down. Listen.
If I was in high school with you,
Yeah.
outside of your game, outside of you playing ball, who was Kobe Bryant as an individual and personality in high school? If we were in high school together.
Much the same that I am now, actually, which is extremely curious. Extremely curious. I had a great teacher in high school. Her name is Jane Mastriano, who I'm still very close to. And she sparked my curiosity in writing. And the reason why I felt it was important at the time was not for the writing's sake, or not for storytelling purposes, but there are things in story, inherently in story, that can help me be a better basketball player, be a better teammate, a better leader, understand emotions better. So that's why I got into it, into storytelling, actually. So it's just insanely curious, man. And, trivial things weren't going to pull my attention. It had to be things weren't going to pull my attention. It had to be things that I had a purpose. I wanted to be one of the best basketball players to ever play. And anything else that was outside of that lane, I didn't have time for.
At what age did that goal become crystal clear?
I made that deal with myself at 13 years old.
At 13 years old?
13 years old. That's the
you
deal I
were
made.
crystal clear about it?
Crystal clear.
And where did inspiration come from?
The love of the game. The love of the game, the challenge. Like, I would watch Magic play, I'd watch Michael play, and I would see them do these unbelievable things, and I'd say, can I get to that level? I don't know, but let's find out. Let's find out. And so that curiosity to see where I could push this thing led me down that path, I think.
Led you down that path?
I think so.
Now, were you always competitive from the day you were born? You were super competitive?
Competitive with things that I participate in. So I'll put it to you this way. So Michael is competitive in all things that don't make sense, right?
Ping pong.
Yeah, it's just,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So he would try to get me to play golf all the time. Mike, I know about you. I've written books report about you in elementary school. I know you started playing golf when you were in Carolina. So that means if I'm doing the math, you've been playing golf for 100 fucking years. I have not picked up a golf club.
Ever?
Ever. The last thing you're going to do is get me on a golf course and annihilate me. I'm not going to do it.
You've never picked up a golf club?
No, I did it one time, and I was hitting 400-yard grounders.
Grounders.
And so it got my competitiveness going. I got to learn this game. But then I broke my finger during that year, and then I couldn't play much, and that was it.
So the one thing when I see with you, and I think about brain and I think focus. How so many different things brain can get distracted on, and I'm going to put focus on this and focus on this and focus on this. Mm-hmm. Do you think one of the edge you had over everybody else was the biggest percentage of your focus was on one thing? Mm-hmm. Do you see it that way? That was my edge over everybody else?
I do. At the time, I didn't really understand that, right? So, basketball for me was the most important thing. So everything I saw whether it was TV shows, whether it was books I read, people I talked to. Everything was done to try to learn how to become a better basketball player. Everything, everything. And so when you have that point of view, then literally the world becomes your library to help you to become better at your craft.
The world becomes your library to help you improve your craft, better your craft.
Yes, indeed.
So because you know what you want, the world's giving you exactly the information you need to become better at it.
Because you know what you're looking for. Yeah.
So would you, when you size your peers up, how'd you size your peers up? Like if you're sizing people, I'm talking you're 13 years old, you're sizing peers up, what lens are you looking through your peers?
So at 13 years old, I had a, I had a kill list. And so, you know, they used to do these rankings. It was Street and Smith basketball rankings. And I was nowhere to be found because I was like 6'4", scrawny, like 160 pounds soaking wet. So I was like 57 on the list. And so I will look at 56, 55, all the way up to number 1, who these players are, what club teams they played for. So when we go on an AAU travel circuit, I got to hunt them down. Right? And so that became my mission in high school, is to check off every other person, all those 56 other names, hunt them down and knock them down. That was it.
Get a target on them right off the bat.
That was it.
Very simple. That's unbelievable. Let me ask you this question. You say I'm one of the guys on that list ahead of you, and we play. What are you doing to get a feel? Is your mind like, are you asking, let me see if this guy's better than me in this side and this side and this side? Or are you just going saying, I'm going to kill this guy?
Well, it depends what year. So like at 13 years old, you know, I played the longer game because my game wasn't about being better than you at 13. It was to be better than you when, you know, the chips are really on the line. So when we played at 13, I would size you up and see what your strengths and weaknesses are. How do you approach the game? Are you silly about it? Are you goofy about it? Are you good at it just because you're bigger and stronger than everybody else? Right? Or is there actually thought and skill that you put into it? Right? And when I'd play to my weaknesses. I wouldn't play to my strengths. I played to my weaknesses. Because when you're playing summer basketball, there's so many games. So there's not a lot of skill work being done. So when are you going to get better? Right? When you're playing in competition situations, you're only playing to your strengths. Why? Because you want to win. Right? So what I would do, I was work on the things during those games that I was weak at. Left hand, pull-up jump shot, post game. Right? So I have a strategy. And so then fast forward to when I'm 17 and my game is completely well-rounded and that player at 13 that I saw at 13 is still doing the same shit at 17.
Share this video with someone who could use some of this wisdom right now. Go ahead and hit that share button below this video. I'm going to leave you with this quote before you go. Your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your values become your destiny, by Mahatma Gandhi. It's so true. It makes sense. So if you want more videos like this, click this video over here or this video down over here for some more motivation and inspiration, and try to just flood your head with a lot of positive thoughts. Listen to some videos like this, some motivation, and you could change your beliefs that way. Have an amazing day.